my name is Chrissy Clements. Everyone watches accesstv.org.
Welcome to another segment of Politics is Local with your host, RJo Winch on accesstv.org. Today I have with me Angel Arce, who is the endorsed Democrat running in the 4th District for a state representative. Angel is no stranger to the community. He's no stranger to hard work. If you need anyone working for you in the 4th District, it's somebody like my guest today, Angel Arce. So Angel, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Campaigning and working hard, for my community, and really, want to get to the Capitol and do the right things for my community and its people.
So what are some of the things that people are talking to you about as you go around and knock on doors and talk to residents who you've not met before?
Well, there's a lot of issues in my community as far as housing, poor housing condition. Mm-hmm. They want better public safety. Better streets. The crime is high. Just remember that that district was neglected for a very long time. So I'm ready for the struggle, and I'm ready to, work hard to make a difference in that district.
And one of the things we were talking on the last show, we talked to Matt Ritter, who's running in the 1st District, and also Victor Luna, who was a candidate in the 3rd District,
Correct.
Unsuccessful this year.
Mm-hmm.
That does not mean that other years he might not be successful. That it was very important that we felt like we had a legislative team this year, that you all were going to work very closely together.
I think we have a very, very good team. Matt and McGee, you got a lot of newcomers.
Young people.
I think I'm the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
We got McGee coming in.
Mm-hmm.
We got Vargas coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we're going to have a very, very good Hartford delegation for the first time in a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. And we are determined to work together to better our city. Mm-hmm. And it's just a group of strong, dedicated, hardworking delegation, and we're really looking forward to it.
One of the things that's encouraging to me is that it's a variety of individuals. You mentioned Ed Vargas, who's in the running for the endorsed Democrat in the 6th District,
Correct.
Who's been around a long time.
Mm-hmm.
In the school system, the Teachers Federation,
Correct.
the union. So he knows a lot about what's going on in our school systems, some of the things that are broken there, and some of the things that we need to advocate for.
Right.
And then you mentioned Matt Ritter, who has served on the council.
Correct.
So he knows a little bit about the municipal part
Correct.
of the business that he brings to the Capitol. And then also you have Doug McCauley in the 7th District, who's been there for like about 6 to 8 years.
Also very good
Came out of the
education,
school system. And then the newcomer, Brandon McGee, in the 5th District. So Brandon brings more of the community atmosphere to the team. So it's a very wide variety, and also age. That's always nice, because young people represent longevity.
Yes, and this is a group of hard-working guys. They're determined, they're hard-working. I mean, McGee proved them to himself.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
All of us,
that
how
it can be
hard
done. That it can be
done, and how hard he has worked. Mm-hmm. And if he worked this hard to get where he's at, he's going to work very hard.
Absolutely, to stay there,
and for
absolutely.
the people of the city.
Mm-hmm.
So. And we are determined to work hard. I'm really looking forward. I can't wait to get started. This for me, this is not a title for me. I could care less about the title.
You do this work anyway.
I do it anyways on a voluntary basis, and I'm always out there. But I feel that being at the state capitol, I could provide and produce more in my community.
Yeah, you mentioned that it's a good group of guys, but we do have one woman on the team. That's Minnie Gonzalez in the 3rd district. So there will be a woman on that team.
Yes.
And I am looking for in the future more women involvement. You know, we might not be sitting in a chair, but we still need to have involvement and advocate for and make sure that our voices are heard. You know, through the representatives
Yes.
that we send to the state, up to the state capitol.
Just remember one thing about me though. I gotta represent women. I'm the only male in the house.
I live with a house full of women.
Yeah, and I got 7 sisters, and my mother, that's 8.
Okay.
I represent women.
That's right. If you don't let them come home, Mom. Shut the door, lock it, change the key, make them move out.
Well, we also have another woman coming in from Meriden, Hilda Santiago, who is taking the place of Chris Donovan.
Okay.
So Hilda Santiago will be elected to the legislative this year also from Meriden.
Yeah, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I just want to have my say for about 30 seconds about women in this political process, because I'm very, annoyed, agitated, maybe more disappointed that women went through a movement in the 60s to ensure that we had representation, that we were heard, that, our needs were being met. And then here we are in 2012 when you hear presidential candidates talking about, the lesser of women, that it really was embarrassing to me for him. If he wasn't embarrassed, I was embarrassed for him that he had to actually ask somebody to look for women that he could hire, that they need to present them, women in binders, so he could look through the binders to find qualified women for the job. I was really annoyed, with that. And I had a conversation with a woman and said, well, what has Obama done, for women? I said, well, where do you want me to start? Number one, I'm a grandparent and I'm going back to school because of the Obama administration, and their Back to Work Act, where people can go to work and get a skill in the professions. A lot of us are already working in those professions. I do childcare, and I'm going to school for childcare so I can get a certificate that says that I do already what I do, because I already hold a bachelor's, in an associate's in human resources and human services and organizational leadership. But that's one of the things. Also, our children are able to stay on our insurance until they're 26 years old. So that takes your kid right up through college, graduation, look for employment. They're still going to have insurance coverage. And never mind about the pre-existing conditions that so many people have, that now they have the option to have that type of insurance. And it always bothers me as an individual who served in the military for over 24 years protecting our rights, when people talk about getting health care as a handout. No, it's not. America works daily and use your tax-paying dollars to ensure that other countries are able to have medical insurance for their residents. And then people want to complain about when you want to use your own money to have the same health care at home. So don't listen to the hype. Do your homework. Make sure that you know the facts. Don't listen to what people tell you. If you're not sure about something, need more information about something, ask the question. I don't care how it might sound, ask the question. Make sure that you are an informed voter this year.
And you're correct. I mean, I'll be honest to you. If people don't come out this year and vote for Obama, we are going to be in deep trouble.
Exactly.
We are going to be in very, very deep trouble. People don't understand that, it's going to take the president another 4 years.
Exactly.
When the president took over the White House,
we were in a deep hole.
We were in a hole. He didn't create this problem. He inherited this problem.
Exactly.
So yes, he's being blamed by the Tea Parties and the Republicans. They just want to take over the White House. But it's, people got to understand, President Obama did not create this problem. He inherited this problem, and it's going to take another 4 years for him to really bail out.
There you go.
People got to understand that part of politics. A lot of people don't understand politics too much.
Exactly, and the other thing that people don't understand, that when he came in office, and when any of us get in office, there were already legislative laws mandated that have to pass, that have to go through. They've already been passed. So you have to enact whatever those laws are. So you take the next term to, either amend those laws, repeal those laws or do something so that those laws are going to positively impact you, the voter. And speaking of you, the voter, remember, anytime a law gets passed, it's you who go out and elect those individuals to sit in those chairs to make those laws.
Correct.
And if they're not making laws that benefit you, the next time the election comes up, you need to reconsider about who you are putting in those chairs. So don't say they are not passing the laws for me. Say I didn't elect the right person. And let's not make any assumption this year. It's not going to be a landslide. Democrats have got to get to the polls and do their job. We need every single one of those Democrats on that ballot cast. If you're Democrats, like for Connecticut, for instance, the Democrats will be on row B. And other cities and towns and states, they might be somewhere else. So the good thing for you to do is look for Barack Obama and go straight across, all the way to the end, from A all the way to the other side. Make sure you elect Democrats in the office.
And I'm glad you mentioned that, because we got to start educating our people. Remember, our people always have looked for road A. And this year
we're on row B.
Row B.
Exactly,
so
exactly.
Please, is row B. Vote row B all the way.
All the way across.
The first one is President Obama. Look for President Obama. And just
all
go
the way
straight
across.
across.
Exactly,
you know,
exactly. Just think in the state of Connecticut that you're going to be voting on row B, because that's where the Democrats are. And again, I have a list here. I'll remind you of who they are. In the 1st district running for state senate, you have John Fonfara. In the 2nd district running for state senate is Eric Coleman. In the 1st district for state rep, Matt Ritter. In the 4th district, our guest today, Angel Arce. In the 6th district, you have Edwin Vargas. In the 3rd district, there's Minnie Gonzalez. In the 5th district, there's Brandon McGee. And in the 7th district is Doug McCauley. So make sure that you tune in often to accesstv.org. We're talking about how politics is local this afternoon. So, Angel, how important is it for individuals to know who their representatives are? We were talking last week that even things like when your garbage gets picked up, or how often the sweeper comes by, or where your children go to school, all those things are impacted by politics.
Yes, it is. I mean, me myself, a lot of people will tell you call City Hall. Me myself, I like to get involved personally myself, you know, and in my district, I make sure that people call me. I like to get involved with whatever problems they are. In Hartford now, you know, a lot of buildings, I don't know why, and I don't understand why. There's a lot of bed bugs, disinfectation of bed bugs. I get a lot of phone calls on that in my area, you know, and I like to take charge of that, and because I want to make sure that gets resolved.
Exactly.
The crime, I like people to call me. You know, I want to be, and like I always have been, as a community activist, I always been hands-on. That's how I want to be, a hands-on state representative, that I be seen in my district, that people could count on me, that people could knock on my door and tell me we got this problem or whatever, and I, you know, be able to find solutions for them.
But I think that's one thing when we talk about people education and political, people don't understand that when you have a district rep, they represent the people who live in a certain district. And with the redistricting, every district has about between 2,500 to 3,000 people in it. So if you know who your state rep is, you're going to be able to get even those local city issues handled, because he's only representing about, let's say, 3,000 people. When you call the city council or you call in the mayor, they have 125,000 people who they represent. So if you get to your state rep, identify that issue to your state rep, now you have an advocate to go to the city council or go to the mayor or even the governor, depending on what it is, to get those situations taken care of. That way you have an advocacy, you've already done that work. Your state rep can kind of narrow that down for you and basically walk you through it to let you know what needs to happen. But don't negate going to the council meetings and talking to your mayor, because they are the ones who create the municipal laws. So you need to have contact with them also. But I would make sure, you know, that I got directly to my state rep, because remember, he's your house rep. So there's about 3,000 of you, and for the city side, there's 125,000 people. So it's easier to get to your state rep than it is sometimes to get to a council member.
Correct. You know, As a matter of fact, I work in my district, so my job is in my district. So I'm always walking up and down my district, so I'll be easily.
But we don't want to tell people what you do in your real life, because otherwise they won't be contacting you at the state capitol, because that's where you want them to contact you.
True, but if I'm seen on the street and somebody will walk up to me and with some issues or something, I will stand there.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and I'm always going to be seen in my district.
Absolutely.
Because, I work in my district. So,
so you're going to be seen there.
24/7. So unless I'm at home sleeping, but I'm a worker. You know me for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
I'm a worker.
Definitely.
I try to do the right things. I've been through a lot. I've been through the struggles. I've been through, I've been here since 1967. So I've seen it all. I know what it is to suffer. I know what it is to go through hard times. I know what it is for my community to be hurt. My community needs, and that have made me stronger. Have made me a better fighter.
Right. And one of the things that I think, and this is RJo, this is not anybody else, one of the things that I think makes for a good politician is somebody like yourself, somebody who understands where the people are, having come from there yourself, having come from there myself. I understand when parents saying that, I'm a single parent and I'm struggling, I'm trying to do ABC, for my kids. I'm trying to put food on the table and make sure that my child gets a good education. And many times when people talk about the non-impact of parents on the school system, all parents who are absent are not in the street. Some of them are at work. Some parents are working 2 and 3 jobs just to put food on the table. So it's difficult to go to work, put the food on the table, and participate, in the child activities too.
It's very tough. It's very tough for some of these parents. I mean, I witnessed a lot of this. Parents today is not. See, when I was growing up, mom stayed home, dad worked.
There you go. We had a 2-parent household.
Yeah, you can't do that today. Today it's so hard. I mean, the economic won't allow parents to stay home. So, I want to see more jobs. I would love to create more jobs in my district. How am I going to do it? Don't know yet, but
one of the things, let me give you an idea. One of the things that, I'm working on with SEIU, a brand new union for child care providers. And one of the things that I'm talking to them about is creating a network, or let me create a network of people who are at home anyway, grandparents who are at home watching their grandchildren.
Wonderful.
It's very, very easy to get a child care license, and you could take care, even if it's one kid, you're already at home. So you don't need to leave your house. The job comes to you. The child comes to you. So you're there. You're taking care of your grandkids. You take care, even if it's only one other child, that's still an income that's coming into your home, and you're helping another parent to be able to go to work because you're providing care for their child.
Well, I'll tell you what. After all this election is over, we're getting together because I think that's a perfectly good idea, and people will be able. That's a good start for people to get some jobs.
There you go. And not only that, you're small business. You start learning the business. You start learning how to do it yourself.
So I like that. I'm glad I came to the show today because I'm going to be hunting you down.
All right, we're going to hold them to it. You hear it here on accesstv.org. That Representative Angel Arce is going to be working with RJo to help us to create more child provider instances, situations, more in-home child care places for our children to go. And not only that, you're in the neighborhood. So that way, if Mrs. Sally is in the neighborhood who does child care, mom could just walk down there, drop the kid off, take the bus, or do whatever it is, to take her to get to the bus. And I don't want to be discriminatory because there are some men child care providers too.
But I was just thinking, I've seen how rough it is for these young girls with kids to try to go to work because they can't find a babysitter or something like that. And this is a good way for them to, go to work.
Exactly. Imagine if there was somebody in their neighborhood who did child care. Right. They could just drop their kid and go to work.
Great idea. I'll be looking for her.
We're going to make sure. All right, now, you all heard that. So if it doesn't happen, I'm going to come back to you and say, remember that day was October the 20th, 2012?
You could bring me back to the show.
We'll bring him back to the show. That's right. That's right. We'll bring him back to the show. We'll put him on blast. Matter of fact, we'll make him do it. No, I don't have any problems with him because I'm telling you, I will vouch for him personally any day of the week that he is a great worker. He's a hard worker, and he's dedicated and he's diligent. We were talking about one of the things that we know you're going to be advocating for is slowing down of traffic and speed bumps, and criminals, people driving under the influence because of the loss, of your father that this city felt. from just a kind of situation.
I'm looking forward to working on motor vehicle laws, have some motor vehicles changed. I am upset about one law that it happened after all this hit and run that went crazy last year, and a lot of those people that went to jail for 10 years. The legislature passed a law last year, I believe it was, that for good behavior they could earn up to 5 days a month. So now here's this person that will get 10 years, and in 10 years
every month they could take off 5 days.
Every month they take out 5 days. That's a year. I mean, that's about a month a year.
Yeah, about 60 days.
60 days, and I don't think that's fair to the victims. So that's one law that I would like to have them revisit. I really do.
Yeah. And you're going to be in the right place to make sure that happens.
Correct. I believe in people coming back to society and getting a second opportunity. I got no problem with that, because that's another issue that we have.
Yes, we do.
Where people will come back to our communities after serving so many time in prison and
continue to do a life sentence and free.
Right, because
you're still doing a life sentence, you can't get a job.
They're not given an opportunity, and I always believe that they already paid their dues.
That's right.
We don't need to be
continue to punish them.
Right.
That's right.
So I'm really looking at how we could work things on that and have them get the opportunity into getting a job, so they won't have to go back to prison.
Right, and we need some real second chance program, because I will tell you, it's no secret to you that the prison system is a game.
Yes, it is.
They don't. When you go to prison, you're captive. If you got a 4-year sentence, you ought to come out with a college degree. They have you captivated for 4 years. You can't go anywhere. It just befuddles my mind, and I know people looking at it. I know if Coda was out there, he looking at it right now, befuddle. How do you spell that?
Right.
We used to have fun on the council. Every time I came up with a word, he come up with a word like, let me look that one up.
Let me look it up.
But anyway, it just befuddles my mind how anybody could do all that time and then not come out with a high school diploma
or some kind of training or something to get them ready for the world when they come out.
Exactly.
And I would like to see that. I mean, what you expect? They come out here with nothing, no training or anything. Then they come out here, and people just
slam the door in their face, basically.
They're not given a second opportunity.
Right.
We have to start giving people that come back into our city a second opportunity, so we don't have to send them back to jail.
Exactly. But see, and there lies the game. They come back out without the skills, and the system knows that 60, 90 days, whatever, they're coming right back. So it's a continuous cycle that we're not going to let you get any help. We're not going to let you get employed. So we know you're coming back.
To me, I'm looking at this. To me, I look at this as job security for them.
Oh, okay. We look at it like job security for them.
So it's time for us to start looking at.
People need to wake up and realize that that's what it is.
Yeah.
Want to just remind you that you're listening to accesstv.org with your host, RJo Winch, and we're having with us today our soon-to-be state representative from the 4th District, Angel Arce. And we're talking basically about how politics is local, how politics locally affects you when you have family members who go to prison and come back out and can't find a job. That's a political situation. You should get to your state reps and have them to create laws that mandate while individuals are in prison that they either get a high school diploma or some type of trade, so that when they come out, they can really feel rehabilitated and not continues to be punished in society.
Yeah, it's a very important thing too that I learned. The community, and it's one thing that we all thinking about working on, and is bringing the community together. The community got to understand that we as legislators, as your state rep, yes, we at the Capitol, we're trying to, pass laws, we're trying to do things the right way for our district, not only for our district, our state, our city. But when these important issues come out, just like it happened at City Hall, when they have the public hearings, we have public hearings too.
Exactly.
People need to come out. Exactly. People need to come out, but they're not well informed about this public hearing, and that's one thing that I am going to commit myself to people to come out to this public hearings to be able to testify, yes, no, whatever, There have been some laws that have been passed. People are not happy with it, but people were never
But you
notified
didn't
to come in.
Exactly. So make sure that you
know?
tune into accesstv.org. They also have an update on the calendar. So maybe that's one of the things that we can get on the calendar when there are community issues that are going to be addressed at the state capitol. Individuals can be informed to what that committee is, what that date is, and people need to gather themselves and get there because you're exactly right. You listen to the numbers. So if 50, 60, 75 people come to the public hearing, that means that the community or your district is interested in that issue. If nobody shows up, the assumption is made that people are not so interested in this.
And they look at it that way, but then again, the community has not been informed, and that's something that I'm going to make sure and work very hard that my community be well informed of everything that goes on.
And that is excellent.
I like to be informed, and it's been times when I have gotten upset because I wasn't informed.
How come I didn't know about that? I didn't know that was coming up.
So I understand those issues, how important it is for you to be informed, so they could get involved.
Absolutely.
And that's why people don't get involved.
Because they don't know. Or people don't think that they have an involvement piece, or don't think that their votes count, don't think that they're valuable, don't think that people care about them, that people are concerned and being concerned about their issues, and all those things, are untrue. So you want to make sure to get in touch with individuals who can assist individuals in your community, and churches. Any church has anywhere between 500 to 5,000, members in their capacity every single Sunday. So why people are not informed about what's going on politically, I have absolutely no idea. So if there is a minister who wants to come on and challenge me on this, you're welcome to come to accesstv.org, because I'm telling you that as you're talking to your people about doing things in their community and civic pride and civic responsibility, voting is also a civic responsibility.
Yes, it is.
How are you going to make sure that your church gets what the church needs, that things are happening, that your parishioners are being helped, that your members are being helped, that the congregation is able to get what it is they need if they don't understand the laws? So we got to continue to educate, and education is not always in the classroom of the schoolhouse. You get education any and everywhere you go. So hopefully on accesstv.org today, we've been able to educate you a little bit about what your state rep does, who one of your state reps are, and how you can get in touch with him. He'll be over there at 100 Capitol Avenue. And so you can get in touch with him there. You can also call me at 860-796-2368 or at accesstv.org. I think it's /RJo Winch. You can get in touch with us there, or you can get in touch just with the TV station at accesstv.org and just type something in, and I'm sure that the director will get that information to me, and we will be back to make sure that we answer you. So anything you want to leave with the residents about the campaign, how it's going, what you need from them?
Well, I need you to come out and vote on November 6th. First of all, if you want a better country, if you want a better state, if you want a better city, make sure you come out. First of all, vote for our president, Barack Obama.
Right, and if you don't want to make sure you make a mistake and get a case of Romnesia, you better make sure that you put President Obama in the House. You want to make sure of that.
If we do not get President Obama into office for a second term, this country is really going to be in trouble.
I think so too.
So make sure you come out on November 6th, row B here in Connecticut. Vote for President Obama.
Straight across.
It's straight across. I'll be right there. I'm proud that I'm going to be
on the road with President Obama.
With the first African American president. This is like history to me.
Okay.
And I'm really proud of it.
It's a historical moment.
It's a very historical moment.
I was talking to my grandmother. Go ahead.
I'm glad I didn't win in 2006.
Because now
this is part of history. It's a more
historical moment.
Yeah, this is
I was talking to my granddaughter, and she's so. An intro, I'm going to have her on, one of these Saturdays. She said, Grandma, why is everything made in China? I said, you know what? That's a good question. We're going to ask the next president why those things are happening. And sure enough, within the debate, so the president had mentioned about Romney sending all this stuff. over in China. And I was just watching last night on MSNBC where I forget what the state was. I think it was Wyoming or one of those states. 26,000 population. Over 1,200 people were unemployed. This company that's connected to Bain, they actually had people from China come over. They trained the replacements. Then they shut the company down. And all those people are unemployed right now. So if we don't get President Obama and those Democrats in office this year, we're going to see more and more of that happening. Because remember, we live in a capitalistic society, and if people are community minded and want to make sure that they, or whatever they do is also helping to strengthen their sisters and brothers, more of those things are going to be happening. So make sure that you come out and vote on November the 6th. Find the role of the Democrats and vote for all of them. We'll see you next week.